Let me log into the VPS and start tmax. We were working last time on this directory, part1, which contains some bash script examples. And we have a couple of examples to review or to study today before we continue with installing WordPress. So let us look at this test file. Now, here we have a function named usage, which displays the way that this script should be used. This $0 is the name of the script itself, and this it takes an argument. We should give it an argument, which is a path to a file or to a directory. And next, we have this function test file. It is also taking an argument, a path as an argument, and we are storing it into the local variable file. So this is the first argument that is being passed to this function when it is called. And now we do several testing to this file. This testing -e means that the file exists, but with this exclamation point, this is not. So if this condition is matched, then we print the message file does not exist and return with an error from the function. Otherwise, we are going to do some other tests. Here we have this if, which is testing the success of this command, test -f. And this option -f means a regular file. So it is testing whether this is a regular file. And by the way, this way of testing, this is a syntactic sugar of bash, and it is exactly the same as test. So test is a command that is testing for several conditions. With the option -f, it is testing whether given if this file exists, and it is a regular file. If this is a regular file, but with the option -e, it is testing whether it exists or not. And this is also the same, exactly the same as the command test. And in this case, it is taking the option -d, which is testing whether this is a directory. And again, this is the same as the command test here, but with the option -r, it is testing whether this has the read permission. So this file is readable by the user that is running the script. And with this W, we check whether the file is writable. Now, this is a more compact syntax of an if statement. So this is similar to this if here, but of course it is testing another test here. And this is the test command. If this succeeds, then this instruction is executed. If this fails, then this instruction is not executed. So this is a logical end. And for a logical end, both sides should be true or should succeed, so that the whole expression succeeds. But if the left side fails, then there is no need to test or to execute the right side. No matter what it returns, then the whole expression will fail. So this is lazy evaluation. And this is how this works. But actually, it works similar to a compact if command. This is the same as this one, but in this case we are using this operation OR, and this is a continuation. So the command is continuing on the next line. So this is like an escape for the end of line. So here we have an end of line, but it is a kind of escaped with this. So it is the same as being in the same line. So it is a command continuation. The command continues in the next line. And it is similar to AND, but the logic is the reverse. If this fails, then do the expression on the right, or do the instruction on the right. So with the option -x, it is testing whether it is executable. The given file is executable, but this node reverses the truth condition, or the from failure to success, or from success to failure. So if this expression fails, then this condition is this instruction is executed. If this succeeds, then it is skipped. This is skipped. This is not executed. And here we have the end of the function, the closing tag of the function. And so far we have seen only two functions, the function usage and the function test file. Here is the body of the script. Here we check the first argument. $1 is the first argument. This -n is another test which is testing whether this is empty or not. This -n is not empty. So if this fails, it means that if this is empty, if the first argument is empty, then we are calling the function usage. And the function usage also has an exit at the end. The line above is similar to this line, but it is using this operation AND. And this test -z means if this is 0. 0 means empty. So if the first argument is empty, then call the usage function. So these two are equivalent, this one and this one, but these conditions are the reverse of each other. So this is testing, is it empty? This is testing, is it not empty? And finally, the last line of the script is calling the function test file itself with the first argument. So first we check whether the first argument exists, and then we call the test file function with the first argument. We are passing the first argument as an argument to the function test file. So let us try this script. Without argument, it is just displaying the usage. And let me try with an argument like this. I know that this file exists. Now, it is applying several tests, and it is displaying this message. It is a regular file. It is readable. It is writable. Now, let me see what I have here. So let me test with this argument. I will call the script with this argument. So this is the home directory. It represents the home directory. It is replaced by shell with the path of the home directory of the user, and this is the directory .ssh in the home directory. So it is saying it is a directory, it is readable, it is writable, it is executable, searchable. So this option -x for a file, it means that the file is executable. For a directory, it means that the directory is searchable or it is accessible. We can go inside this directory, or we can call a function, we can call a script inside this directory. Let me test with this file, for example. It is a regular file, it is readable, it is writable, it is executable, searchable. And let me test with this dot. Dot is the current directory, so it is saying it is a directory, it is readable, it is writable, it is executable, searchable. Let me test test file. I can test file with itself. So it is checking itself and saying that test file is a regular file, readable, writable, executable. Let me test with this one. Food.txt does not exist because we don't have such a file here. But if I create such a file, I create an empty file and try it again. It is a regular file, it is readable, it is writable. Yes, it is readable and writable. Now let's see another example, this case.sh. And it is a demonstration of the case instruction. It is taking an argument, case, this value in. And then at the end it is closed with exact, or exact, which is the mirror of this one, like a mirror parenthesis. And here we have a pattern and this closing parenthesis, and if this argument is matching this pattern, then the instructions below this pattern are executed until this double semicolon. So this double semicolon means stop here. Execute the following instructions and stop here. Again, another pattern, closing parentheses, execute this instruction and stop here. The same thing here. Now, this is an this is a class character. And this class character includes all alphanumeric, all alphabetic characters. Alphabetic characters are lowercase letters and uppercase letters. And here this pattern is matching one of the letters A or B or C, capital A or capital B or capital C. And this pattern here is matching one digit from 0 to 9. So here we have two letters. The first one is the letter A or B or C, and the second letter is a digit. So we print this message. It is A, B or C followed by a digit. And this question mark is matching one character. The next one is matching another character. So this pattern is matching three characters. any characters. And this pattern star.text, this star is matching anything, and then it should end with .text. So this it is a word ending in .text, and this is like an else case. So if it doesn't match any of the previous patterns, then it is going to match this one for sure, because this star matches anything. And the message is it is something else. So how this case, how does this work? This case instruction. It is trying the first pattern. If it does not match, it is trying the second pattern. If it does not match, it is trying the next pattern. If this pattern matches, then it is executing instructions below it until this double semicolon and stops. It is not testing the rest of the patterns. So it finds the first pattern that matches and executes the instructions under this pattern. So let us try this example. So I will try it with X. It is a single alphabetic character. So it is the first case that is matching. Let me try it with B2, for example. It is A or B or C followed by a digit. Let's try it with foo.text. It is a word ending in .text. Let's try with this argument, XYZ. It is 3 characters long. Let's try it, for example, with AB. It is something else. So this does not match any of the patterns. This AB. So it matches the last one, the star. It is something else, and it displays the message. It is something else. Now let's see this example, which shows how to use case, for example. This script is using the case instruction. So this script is displaying a menu, and we are making a selection, and it is executing some commands based on our selection. And let us look at how this script is structured. We have a main function here, and we have some other functions below the main function. And at the end of the script, we are calling the main function here, and we are passing all the arguments to the main function. So if this script is getting some arguments, we are passing all of them to the main function. So this is the body of the main body of the script. Just execute the main function with all the arguments that are passed to the script itself. Now let us see what does this function do, this main function. While true, this is an infinite loop. So we are repeating something indefinitely. This display menu, we are calling a function here, and it is the function that is defined here, display menu. Then we, or let us look at this function, display menu. It is very simple. This command clear is erasing everything on the screen, and then we output these lines, which are a menu. So after displaying this menu, we read something. We read a character from the keyboard. This is the prompt, and we read something from the keyboard. But we are not specifying a variable where to store the value that is being read from the keyboard. In this case, the command read is storing it to the variable reply. So this is just displaying an empty line, and then we call this other function process selection with the value that we read from the keyboard as an argument. And then we display another empty line, and then this press enter to continue. This is just waiting for us to press enter so that we read the output of this function. Now let's see what this function does. Process selection. We store the first argument of this function to this variable selection, named selection. And then we have this case instruction on selection, and we have these options, lowercase or uppercase q. This is an OR, so this pattern is matching either this or this. And in this case we output this message. So if the user is pressing Q, we output the message program terminated and stop the program with exit. Now if the user is pressing A or A, we output this message, system information, and then host name, and then we run the command uptime. And this command uptime is displaying the system information that we are requesting. And if the user is pressing B, output this message, and this command df-h on the current directory is displaying this space utilization. And this echo command is using this. We are using the option -e for the echo command, and this -e means something like extended. And in case that we use the option -e, then this /n is interpreted as a new line character, not as a literal character /n, but it is interpreted as a meta character that this is a meta character that represents the new line in this case, or end of line. So it is printing a new line at the end. And with the option C, we are actually calling another function here, display home space utilization, which is defined below, which is declared below. And otherwise, if the selection is something else, we display this message invalid entry. So the function display home space utilization, we are making another test here, whether we are running this command as super user or not. If we are, this ID is showing the user ID, ID-u is showing the ID of the current user. And if the ID of the current user is equal to 0, then this script is being executed as a super user. And in this case, we show the disk space utilization for all the users. Otherwise, if the script is being executed as a normal user, we just show the disk space utilization for that user. So this home is the home directory of the current user. So let's try this script. So we have a clear screen, then we display these lines, and then we are reading something with the command read. Let me try, for example, X, and press enter, invalid entry. Press enter to continue. When I press enter, then the while loop is starting again from the beginning, and then we have display menu, and then read something again. and it is waiting for another input. Let me press A. System information, host name, server 1, and then this is the output of the command uptime. So uptime is showing for how long has been running this system, for 19 days, 20, I don't know, something like this. Press enter to continue. Now let me try capital B. Enter. This space utilization. This is the output of the command df-h, and it is showing the size of the so all of this is the output of the command df. It is showing that the size of the disk is 38 gigabytes, this much used, this much available, percentage. Let me try the C option. Home space utilization. Home space utilization, all users. Now I'm running as root on this system, and okay, it cannot access because there are no users actually. So this directory home is empty, and we can check it later. So let me press Q to quit the script. Program terminated, and let me actually modify it, because we don't have users here. So if I check the directory home, this is empty. There are no users except the root user, and the home directory of the root user is root. So the home directory of the root user is this one. So let me modify to show the disk space utilization for the directory root. I'm going to comment out this function, and I will just use a simple command here. Or maybe this one. Disk usage summarized and human readable for the home directory. Save, quit, and try it again. C, display home space utilization. So it is showing that we are using 124 kilobytes in the home directory. Enter and then Q. So we are done with the bash scripting, and now we will start with installing something on the VPS. We will try to install a VPS, WordPress application on VPS. But before doing that, I will make a snapshot of the VPS. So I'm on HeadSnare. These are my VPSs, my servers. This is the VPS that I'm using. I will create a snapshot. Take snapshot. Let me say and if I look at the snapshots, it is creating this snapshot right now. Why I'm doing this? Because in a few weeks we are going to make some tests. So we will install several things and we will modify and so on. and after a few weeks we will start again from scratch. We will install applications, but we need a fresh VPS. We need to start from scratch. And if I make a snapshot here right now, then I don't have to set up the VPS again when we have to do this. Or another option is to delete the VPS, install a new one, and then set up it again. Install firewall D, install fail to ban, and the other modifications that we did when we created a VPS. So you can do a snapshot before continuing with the rest of the steps that we are doing or not. But after a few weeks, we will have to start from scratch. So this is done. We can continue. I can clear these things right now because we don't need anymore. Or we can keep them, no problem. It is not an issue, we can keep them. Now, I'm going to install WordPress on the address vp1.user1.fs.al. But I have to make sure that this address is pointing to my VPS, to the IP of my VPS. So what is the IP of my VPS? It is this one. So I have to set up the DNS so that this address is pointing to this IP. I have done it already, but how can I check it? I can check it with the command dig wp1.user1.fs.al. The command dig is already installed in my VPS. I'm not sure whether it was installed by default or I have installed it later, but if you don't have the command dig, you can install it with the package. So this package, bind9 DNS utils, contains also the command dig. And the command dig is asking for the IP of this address, of this URL. So, and if I add the option short, it just shows the IP without all these details. So it shows only the IP, and this is actually the IP of my VPS. So this is okay. But I've also created some subdomains on my main domain for you, so that you can use for your assignments. For example, vp1.anton.fs.al is pointing. This is not correct. This is the IP of my server. Let me try with Andreas. Okay, I guess this is correct because it is not one of my IPs. And also with Thomas. I think this also is correct. So for the assignment, you can use this URL and this one. I think this is or something like this. I've done something wrong. There is something wrong here, but I will fix it later. So the first step is to set up the DNS, to make sure that the DNS is correct, that the URL that we want to use for the site that we want to install is pointing to our IP. In my case, it is pointing to the IP of my VPS, the VPS which I am using here for testing. And then WordPress is built on PHP, and to run PHP on a server, we need a LAMP stack. LAMP means Linux, Apache, MariaDB or MySQL, and then PHP. So we have to install these tools in order to run a PHP application. Or it can also be on Nginx. Instead of Apache, we can use Nginx as a web server. But in this case, for the WordPress, we are going to use Apache. And next, we will install Nextcloud. And for Nextcloud, we are going to use Nginx as a web server and PostgreSQL as a database. For the case of WordPress, we are going to use MariaDB as a database. We also want the ports 80 and 443 accessible. So because the web server is running on these ports, is using these ports, and we want to make sure that these ports are open on the firewall. Right now, everything is closed on our firewall. Firewall CMD list all. We have only this port open on the firewall, and also we had I have this port that we use to test netcat. But I think this port was is a temporary modification. It is not a permanent modification. So if I reload firewall CMD, I'm not going to have this here. So let me reload it. Firewall CMD reload, and then list again the ports. So only the SSH port. This is the port of my SSH server. Only this one is open. Now I want to open the ports 80 and 443 as well. So firewall CMD. Zone public. So I am making a modification to this zone, to the zone public. Add port. '80 TCP, and I'm going to edit permanently. I am making this modification on the set of permanent rules, and also the port. The other port 443, and let me reload the set of permanent rules and check again the list of open ports, and I see now that the port 80 and 443 are open on the firewall. And to make sure that these ports are really open and these ports are really accessible, I can use again netcat. Netcat listen to the port 80 on the server, and on my local machine, I'm opening another terminal, netcat vp1.user1.fs.al port, connect to the port 80 on this server. Let me see here. I type something here. It is transmitted on the other side. So the port 80 is really accessible on the server. And I can also check for that the port 443 is also accessible, but I trust that it is working. Since it is working for the port 80, it should be working for this port as well. And let's install the web server Apache 2. apt install. This is installed automatically, so we don't have to install it separately. And this is showing the version of the Apache 2. It is version 2.4 point something, it doesn't matter. And we can also check the service, because Apache 2 is like a service. It stays running all the time on the server, and it is listening on the port 80 and 443. So system control status, it is active and running. So it is activated automatically. When we install the package, it is already activated. We don't have to activate this service and to enable and to start it. Now, another test, to test that it is running, we can open this on a browser, the IP. We can try to access this IP on a browser. Let me try here. And we get this message, Apache 2 Debian default page. So we have not set up any websites on the web server. This is a default page that shows that Apache 2 is running. We can also test with our domain, because the domain should point to this IP. So it should be the same thing. wp1.user1.fs.al, and we should get the same result. Now let's install the database, MariaDB. MariaDB server and MariaDB client. Let's check the status of the service. System control status MariaDB. It is running. But we have to secure the installation of MariaDB, because when it is installed by default, it has no password, no root password. So we can run this command, mysql secure maybe it is being installed securely, so maybe we have to skip this step. I will check it later why it is failing, why it cannot find this command, and we can access the database with the command MariaDB, and we get a shell which is inside the database. This is a database prompt. What can we do here? We can show the list of databases and a semicolon at the end, and it has some default databases which contain information about the system itself. Let's go inside this database. If we want to check something inside this database, we can say, for example, use MySQL. MySQL is the name of this database here. And the message database changed. We are inside this database now. We can use the command show tables to see a list of the tables in this database. And this is the list of tables. And one of these tables is this user table. So with the command describe user, this is the name of the table, describe table. It shows the fields that compose this table, or the columns of this table. So for each user, it is keeping a lot of fields, a lot of information, but mostly I care about this host, user, and password. So let me try to see what is inside this table. Select user, host from mysql.user. This is getting some lines or some rows from the database. This is the name of the database, MySQL, and this is the name of the table. And it is showing only the fields user and host from this table. And there are 3 users currently. So by default, it has the user root, the user MySQL, and the user MariaDB.system. Now I can use this command show grants for root at localhost. So I'm trying to get the permissions of this user, root at localhost, and this show grants is going to show me the permissions. Grants for root at localhost grant all privileges on star.star to root at localhost identified, and so on. So we have all privileges on all databases and all tables. So the root the user root has all the privileges, so it can do anything. It is a super administrator in the database. And it also has this other grant proxy on to root with grant option. So it means that the user root can grant permissions to other users. So it can do everything on the database, and it can also grant permissions to other users. I can exit from this MariaDB shell with the command exit or with Ctrl D. Now let me install PHP. Apt install PHP CLI PHP FPM. These are the core PHP packages. CLI is for command line, when we call PHP from command line, and FPM is like a service. PHP runs like a service. The command PHP v shows the version. It is PHP 8 dot something. And besides the core packages of PHP, we also need to install the PHP packages for communicating with the database and for communicating with Apache 2. So Apache 2 has to run PHP in order to execute a PHP file. And the PHP needs to connect to the database, and so we have to install also these packages. Lib Apache 2 node PHP and PHP MySQL. It also works for MariaDB. Although it says MySQL, it also works for MariaDB. Lib Apache 2 here. So install. So the packages that we have installed so far are usually installed for all the PHP applications. But when we install WordPress, we also need to install some dependencies of WordPress, PHP packages that are used by WordPress or by its plugins. So let's also install some other packages, but because the list is a little bit long, we can copy it from these instructions here. Install PHP. So we have to install these dependencies of WordPress. So let me copy this and paste it here. Ctrl-Shift-V. Now, how can we test that PHP programs can be served by Apache 2? First of all, let's look at the configuration of Apache 2. And we have here sites available and sites enabled. Let's see sites enabled. this is the default configuration, and let us look at it. And here we see document root. Document root is the directory where the files that are served. So when we ask for a file, for example index.php or something, it is going to look into this directory var www.html. So let me create a simple file, a simple PHP file into this directory, and see whether I can access it from a web server. Okay, I should have used nano here, but it doesn't matter. So let me go to the directory var www.html. Here we have this index.html, which displays this information. Index.html displays this Apache 2 default page. Let me try to create a simple PHP file. Nano info.php. PHP starts with this tag, and then I'm going to run the function php info, which is outputting some information about PHP itself. And then I can optionally close this, but it is optional. It can also be open. Save, exit, and now I will try to open this info.php on browser. Here, for example, info.php, and this is the output from the function php info, which shows the PHP version and the modules and parameters, etc. Lots of information. I can also try the same thing with this address here, info.php, and get the same result. So we have verified that the PHP works. So we can call a PHP file and Apache will serve it correctly. Now that we verified it, we should delete this info.php that we created, because it just gives information unnecessarily to the world. So why should they know what version of PHP we are running and what modules we have installed, etc., etc. It is not a good idea to publish this information. And now we should start installing WordPress itself. So up to now we have installed Apache 2, we have installed MariaDB, we have installed PHP, but we have not started yet with WordPress. Now we start installing WordPress, but let's do it next time.
Thank you, Dashamir.
Any question?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Why did we choose MariaDB instead of MySQL, for example?
Okay, MariaDB and MySQL are equivalent to each other. They are developed by the same person. Actually, MariaDB is a fork of MySQL. So MySQL is an open source, but it was acquired by Sun Microsystems, and then Sun Microsystems itself was acquired by Oracle, and so MySQL actually belongs to Oracle. It is open source, but since it belongs to Oracle and Oracle is a database company, the future of MySQL is not safe. And actually, the developer of MySQL forked MySQL and created MariaDB. So MariaDB is also open source, and it is kind of free. It is not in the mercy of Oracle or some other community. It is or some other company. It is a community supported project. So in my opinion, it is better to use MariaDB than MySQL. They are maybe 99% compatible or 95%, or I don't know. So I can remove MariaDB and install MySQL and everything will work the same. Or I can remove MySQL and install MariaDB and I don't have to change anything. Everything will work the same. They are completely compatible. But I think it is better to use MariaDB than MySQL.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Okay. If there are no other questions, then let's meet again on Tuesday and continue with installing